All right, my friends, welcome to lesson number 5. I'm so glad that you got to this point. I think that this is something that's really going to help your child. Don't forget, my friends, to like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have pretty much everything that Facebook, of course, every social media that you can think of, we are on it because we don't want to create any friction for our friends. We want to give them the most information that we can. We are dedicated to helping what we believe are the most important people on this planet, and that's kids, parents, and teachers. And the more information that we can spread on every single network that we are willing to do it. And of course, you can always go to bestkidsolutions.com as well. So my friends, let's talk about the crux of why emotional intelligence is such an important thing for your child. And this is getting into self-regulation of emotions. When a child is able to identify their own emotions and then give an appropriate response to that emotion, their life will change. It is probably one of the most important things that we can discuss in your child's life, because your child will have emotions on a daily basis. For every academic interaction that they have, they'll probably have anywhere between 5 and 50 non-academic interactions, something that is going to trigger their emotion, and how to respond to that is going to make a huge deal. And this is something that's very important, very similar to making friends. You have to give them practice on how to deal with some of these emotions. First, we need to identify the emotion. Am I frustrated? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I mad? All of these things have to be identified. And then once we identify the emotion, then we can make an appropriate response. Because a lot of times when we understand that emotions come racing to us and that we don't necessarily have to react on those, that's a game-changing lesson just in itself. The emotions rush in. We all have emotions, but we don't have to react on that emotion. And giving your child the practice of self-regulation is going to be a huge game changer for them. Once they identify and understand that they don't have to react on that emotion, then they can start getting into some of these techniques that are really going to help their mindset and help them self-regulate much easier. A good example of that would be when something negative happens to you and you're not really sure why it's happened. We've always said, if you have to assume, you might as well assume the best. In this case, somebody does something to you, and rather than reacting negatively and assuming that it's something that you did, you can help them change their identity, change their reality, and say, you know what? They obviously are having a really bad day, and they must be something that they're dealing with. It's probably not me. And when they're able to make that change, that mindset, that quick practice, and that's something that doesn't happen right away. It comes with practice. But once you're able to do that, you're able to empathize with the person that's causing the problem. You are able to react in a much more appropriate way to the emotions that people are putting onto you. This is something that, once again, is going to be a huge game changer for your child. Being able to self-regulate and change the reality of the situation, because many times we hear all the time that your reality, how you're seeing things is different than how other people are seeing things. The one thing that you see, other people see differently, and you have the ability to make your own reality. You have your own way of seeing things, and if you can do that in a positive way, it makes a huge difference. When somebody is sticking their tongue out at you in line, or In an adult setting, if somebody's cutting you off or really just whizzing by you, it's very interesting or very easy to just automatically, get emotional and get mad about the situation. In reality, as soon as you say, you know what, maybe they're in a hurry because there's an emergency, or maybe they're rushing, they're late to get their child. Once you start changing that reality, it's easier for you to calm down and have empathy for the situation, because it really makes no difference. It really doesn't make a difference why they're doing what they're doing. But by you being able to self-regulate and put your reality into a positive note, it's really going to help you and help your child. And once again, when you model self-regulation, that is the best way to teach a child, is because as human beings and all animals in the animal kingdom are best suited to learn through modeling, because they see an adult on what they're doing, and subconsciously that learning occurs, because that's how we have survived for millennium, is by being able to teach our children how to better survive in their environment. And so many times modeling is the key to that. So take the time to sit down and do some family appropriate identity practice. Give them the ability to say, have some one-liners that they can say when they're happy, one-liners when they're mad or they're angry or they're frustrated. Practice with them how to change their reality to a positive. And then, of course, when these situations don't work, and there's some real life stuff, when somebody is doing something to you that you have to say something, when changing your reality or their reality doesn't work, then you can give them some strategies on how to handle that situation right then and there, what to say in a general setting when somebody's doing something that you don't like. And then, of course, I highly recommend putting your child in some sort of self-defense class when all else fails and you have done every single technique, you've changed it to a positive, you try to be empathetic with them, you've let them know that you're uncomfortable with the situation that they're doing, and they keep coming at you. Having that self-defense, being able to walk away and feel comfortable because you're doing the other person a favor, is a huge game changer, because so many times people feel like they have to prove something to somebody. And when you know you don't have to, it is really a big deal. You've put your child on a different level, and it's something that's very important. So my friends, work on self-regulation with your child. Make sure their emotions are they're able to self-regulate them, and it really will be a game changer for your child. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll get into the next lesson soon.